Coming, and thank you for the kind words. It was a long process to get through this transaction. When I started looking at the company, it was about a year ago, and the company was trying to fight through certain battles, and I think they've made real headway. One of the key parts of the puzzle was getting the town to really embrace the company, which they had been doing. And one thing I would like to do as well is present you, May, with our certificate of appreciation. Because without the backing of the town, we really wouldn't have been able to get as far as we've been going. So I had some other words I wanted to share with the group, but at first I'd like to present you with this.
Thank you.
Say thank you. And
Appreciate it very
as I told you the first day we met, I don't sell perfection, I sell accountability. So I'm not guaranteeing that everything's going to go perfect and there won't be some bumps, there are always some bumps. But at the end of the day, you always know how to reach me, and we're going to hit things head on and try to make this thing look much better and even greater than it is today. So thank you very much for everything that you guys have done. Well, I'll take a couple of minutes if you don't mind, because it's important to share some of the views of how I got here, try to introduce myself to you folks, my thinking on where the company can go, and really, you know, why it makes sense for Rosemount to know and understand and support this network that you've got. The mayor just said something a few minutes ago, talking about different bandwidths and how much speed, and boy, if you get 10 megs or 20 megs is even better and all that. And it just reminds me, about 10 years ago, I had been at a venture capital firm for many years, and during the whole boom that was going on with the internet and all, one of the key things always struck me in this broadband stuff is that people kept thinking about it in terms of the infrastructure and in terms of the bandwidth and how many megabytes have you got and all that. And that's the phase we're in right now. But I tell you what, when they were first putting out the electricity network, it was pretty much the same. You know, how much power have you got? How many kilowatts have you got? But I really asked the question, when's the last time you ever asked how many kilowatts do you have? It just works. You plug it in and it works. You expect it to work. And broadband is going to be the same. There's going to come a day, and that's the day you know we finally got there, by the way, is when you're not asking how much bandwidth, or is it going fast, or is it going slow, or is it wireless, or is it wireline. It's just going to work. You're going to have some application that you're going to be doing, and you're going to want to see it happen, and it's just going to happen. You're not going to worry about the slowness of a network, which drives me to why I was so interested in this business. So back east is where I come from. You don't hold it against me. I come from back east. And as I told them again originally, so I reside in New York. My company, Everest TV, is in New Jersey, and I grew up in Connecticut. So pick your poison if you want to pick on one of those states. But you know, I've been doing a lot of different, looking at different acquisitions over the last few years. And the folks that knew about FTTH were actually on at the parent level that I had known for the company that had owned FTTH prior, which is this Rudder Capital up in Egan. And I knew they were hitting certain troubles. The whole period we're in is a troubling period. But I saw out here what was basically the central nervous system of this town. And that's really how folks should think about it. It's going to be the way things are delivered, and the communications and the applications that you want to do over this network, the TV that you're doing today, etc. And it was part of the vision that I had originally with Everest TV. So you know, back there, I'd raised a boatload of money 10 years ago. And we built out networks in New York and Los Angeles and Toronto and DC area and all sorts of places. But the capital changed then. The capital market changed like it changed this time around a little bit. And we didn't get as far, even as you guys have gotten here on the build out. So we'd attained a little bit greater scale, but we were doing things in a different format. But it was always my vision that the infrastructure, the delivery system that would be best would be a fiber network. So when I heard this opportunity had come up last year, I took it pretty serious. So I said, why in the world do you want to come out to Minnesota or a small town of Rosemount to see how this would all work? But for me, it was the best laboratory to play in. You know, there's really no other player that I think could deliver the types of services that we have. You do have the incumbent today, and I would never disparage a competitor, but I think you have a sense for the kind of service delivery, customer care that they typically deliver. We're here. So one of the key things that was important to me was to come back to Rosemount. So we closed this transaction just to February 1st, so it isn't that long that we've been here. But the first course of action we took was to come back home, as we call it, back here in Rosemount. And we were fortunate. This building, which is also fantastic, part of the ribbon cutting, I think, was also for the building and what you're doing here in town. And we were happy to be a part of it, you know, to come back here in this office. We have this nice facility, and we're going to continue to deliver services. So the one thing I would stress to you is this network will work best with more customers. Any people you know you have, add to it. You know, it just keeps it stable, it makes it work better, it keeps prices down, etc. So pass the word, anyone you know, we'd love to have more customers. And you'll see more services as we go. DVR service, you'll see that within the next few months. We're just trying to get some of the timing up to speed. I've just got to get myself out of the block here. I've only been involved a few months, but that'll come pretty quickly. But I see things like, you know, storage services that you might want, you know, different kinds of the public education channels that we're going to get on board with, and things that you can do with that. I like Rosemount Tube. You know, if you want to see what anyone else is doing, contribute content, those sorts of things that you'd be able to do. Maybe we'll put up a small Wi-Fi network if we can put it into the system and people like that. So we need to hear back. We need to hear back from the customers as well, what you folks find important. And you'll be seeing surveys, you'll be seeing different types of questions that we have. And we're here. We want to be good listeners. We want to be long-term partners with the community, and I just appreciate the warm welcoming that we've had. So thank you for coming.